Welcome back. Hope you spent an hour tidying up the flat, getting the dishes done, making mum and dad a cup of tea, or whatever. So in this segment with Ben Pollack, the media manager with the Canberra Raiders, we want to look at the link between Ben's role and the sponsorship roles, and also then turn our attention to social media, which is something which Ben was talking off camera about at the start of today, and something which is growing, and I think because there's an emphasis upon it which you will master far more than we will as the years come, which we'll look at because it will give us a greater depth of understanding of what a practitioner is currently seeing in social media. So Ben, first of all, the sponsorship link, and I know I think it was Saturday's Canberra Times was the article on seeking a sponsor for the under-20 team in the Toyota competition. What's the link between yourself and the sponsorship managers?
Well, obviously sponsorship for a rugby league club is very important. It's one of the main income revenue streams that we have. Yeah. With myself in regards to sponsorship, it's very important for us initially with servicing sponsors to make sure that their branding, their name and everything is out there.
How would you do that? Sorry about that.
Yeah, we do a lot of things like through our website. All of our sponsors, we have a sponsor link on the website. We encourage our supporters to use our sponsors, and our sponsors do offer our supporters a range of benefits, particularly our members, our season ticket holders and members of the club. So we have a database on our website where, if you're similar to like a Yellow Pages, if you need somebody to, if you've got a smash repairs, you can see who sponsors, the Raiders, and you can use them or, in that way. It's very important also to make sure that we get exposure through photography and vision. So all of our training apparel is branded in sponsorship, and my role is to make sure that the players are wearing that when they're on the field. Also, when they're doing interviews, if we have the proper sponsorship, but in the background we have tailor-made sponsor pull-ups that we put up at all our press conferences. Our coach wears a specific hat when he does media conferences and all that sort of stuff as well. But then there's little things like helping sponsors out. Say there's a charity event and one of our sponsors involved, I'll push that to the media as a story to say these players were involved in this charity event thanks to this sponsor, and getting their name out there that way.
And with this article, if we could focus on that for a minute, is it the media manager who got the story into the newspaper, or the sponsorship person, or do you work together on that?
Yeah, we work together. We had a staff meeting a few weeks ago, and one of the big properties that's available for the Raiders at the moment is a sponsorship of the jersey on the Toyota Cup team, which is, for those who don't know, the Toyota Cup's a national under-20s competition that does get TV coverage through Fox Sports, and actually gets very good numbers too, so very good ratings. So that sponsorship property became available at the start of the season. They wanted to let people know that this was available, so in discussions with the sponsorship team, we came up with an idea of putting a story in the Canberra Times with a picture of one of the young guys with a for sale sign on his jersey, and saying, this spot is up for grabs effectively. So then it's my role to go and talk to the Canberra Times, pitch it to their sports editor and journalist, and say, look, this is an idea we've got for a story. Are you interested? They jumped at it, said, yeah, it's a little bit different. We're excited about doing it. Yes. So yeah, we went ahead and organised it, teed up an interview with our CEO, and set up a pic with one of the players, and yeah, went ahead from there.
On a different note, in the Canberra Times, just to your left, today's Canberra Times, on the front page, folks, there's a picture of a player who, fortunately, was not as severely injured as he could have been in an accident with an aeroplane propeller. But for this to be on the front page of the Canberra Times, it's not there by sheer luck. And Ben, being a key person in the placement of this story, can walk us through this real example of media management.
Yeah, well, unfortunately one of our players was involved in a bit of a freakish accident on Friday afternoon, where he was Servicing your propeller is an aeronautical engineer. If you can believe a front row forward does that for a living, it's hard to believe. But
I'm so scared of front row forward size, I'll believe anything about it.
Yeah, so he was accidentally involved in an incident a bizarre incident where the propeller came around and clocked him on the head, and he, had to receive some stitches and 14 stitches in his face, and was lucky not to be seriously injured or even killed. So I found out about the story on Saturday when we were at the game. I saw him at the game and he had the bandage on his head, and I was wondering why he wasn't playing. So I asked him the question and he filled me in on the details, and just thought it was a very interesting story and something that was a little bit out of the ordinary. So I discussed it with the journalist from the Times at the game. We sort of come to an agreement that we wouldn't let anyone else know about it, because a big thing about getting stuff in the front of newspapers and also on the back page is exclusivity. If you've got something that nobody else has, there's more of a chance it's going to get a run than something else. So we spoke to him, organised a picture to go with it. Newspapers are very hugely focused on having a good quality photograph to go with their story. If you want to be on the front page, that's what you have to do.
We have emphasised visuals in the lectures.
Yeah, definitely. You need to be very visually based, whether it be a newspaper or TV. Radio, obviously, you can't, but the other ways, definitely. We went ahead and this morning it made the front page of the paper. So, for us, even though it's not a football-driven story, it's bringing attention to our brand. So, in a positive way. I mean, it shows that we're looking after this kid. He's been injured. We're going to make sure he's okay.
But even with radio, to some extent, it's the creation of the visual, isn't it? Because you're dealing with the media and you're trying to put through the print media, if you like, or without a picture, and through the radio especially, an image, or to try and link a familiar image in the listener's mind.
That's right.
So that they've got the connection.
Exactly, and with radio, audio plays a massive part in it. If you listen to football coverage on the radio, you'll hear the referee's microphone, you'll hear the crowd background noise. They put a lot of time into making sure you can hear that as well.
On a different note, in some ways, before you and Lee and I were talking about the way that social media now is used by you in your media role, also used by sponsors, also used by people who really want to get a message out to a wide range of listeners, viewers, etc. How do you use social media at the Raiders?
Well, initially we obviously advertise our membership packages and home games. We use that through television advertising, radio advertising, print advertising, and through our website as well. They're the sort of main ways we get information out to our supporters. But in the last 18 months, we've also taken on the social media, really popular social media such as your Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We involved in a lot of that sort of stuff as well, where we have our own dedicated sites and people can check up what we've been up to on that and get their opinion out there, and that's very popular for us as well.
Which would you recommend to students to turn to get an idea of the way that you're using social media to get the message across? As a good example.
I'd have to say there's a new way that we do things now through our website in regards to video content. Where what we do is we have a lot of exclusive videos on our website that you can only see if you come to our website, which for us is good because it drives people to our site. In return, helps us raise revenue for advertising on our site. So I mean, little things that you can't get anywhere else. They're key, and that's something that we've been very successful in.
Well, time's almost up, folks, and I know that you will have really enjoyed this because it's practical, links with our lecture content, and we'll be able to follow up, we hope, with one of the sponsorship people from the Raiders at some time, now that you have a broad understanding of Ben's role and the way that he uses the media and works with the media. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Tuesday, and at the tutorials this week.